again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, comment, all that good stuff. We're live again. My wife had to let me know she's at the hospital with her mother who's got double pneumonia. So I thought that was pretty important that I need to speak to her for a second about that before I got back to talking to you guys. But here we are, we're back, and we're going back to the questions. So let's go back to the home page because we're on another video now, guys. So the last thing we were talking about, people were asking my son competed. No, my son's naturally, he wants to do his first show this year. I told him he's been 140 to 145 pounds for a very long time. Pretty lean, but I said, I don't even want to put you on a contest diet until you get to 150 because you're gonna end up losing weight. And I just, in good conscience, I couldn't do that to him. So yeah, that's the deal with my son. He does want to compete. He wants to do classic. He doesn't really have enough size for, yeah, he'll do it natty. My son's natural for life. I'm not going to have my son on drugs. No, people say, why do you advocate drugs and you keep your son natural? I don't tell anybody to do drugs. If you've already made up your mind to do drugs, I try to convince you to do it in a responsible, safer way. Don't use mega doses, take time off. Definitely get blood work done. If you're over the age of like 35, especially 40, get all the heart stuff done, the heart scans, calcium score, ultrasound, EKG, stress test. I get all that done. But no, I don't want to see, especially my son. He has no interest in it anyway, but I would feel awful if he ever had health problems from steroids and I was the one that started him on steroids. This is my only son. I have one daughter and one son, and the one thing a parent is really supposed to do is keep your children safe from harm. That's like your number one responsibility as a parent. So if I caused harm to my son inadvertently like that, I would just hate myself. Wouldn't be able to look in the mirror. No, Joseph, he can't compete with steroid guys. So I'm gonna have him do a local natural show, drug tested show. I'm not gonna say the organization because the NPC gets very upset when people mention that there are other organizations. So I'm not going to do that, but it will be a natural federation in this area, Massachusetts, drug tested, where he'll be on more of an even playing field because, yeah, he would get destroyed by kids his age on drugs. He's 23. 23-year-old kids on drugs, some of them are, 300 pounds off season, 250 to 260 on stage. There's some big sons of bitches out there on drugs because, kids use megadoses. It's nothing new, but especially these days, young kids will use all kinds of doses. Whew. They love the trend, these kids. Good Lord, do they love the trend. It's so toxic, but they love it. Good question, A. Torres. How do you feel about pros making money on OnlyFans? It's mostly female pros, obviously. I'm not a fan of OnlyFans. I'm very much against. OnlyFans has turned an entire generation of women into sex workers, prostitutes. Prostitute is someone who gets paid to have sex, right? Well, a lot of these OnlyFans is a wide range. Women can just show bikini pictures. They can show topless. They can show full nude. Then they can cross over into pornography. They can just do masturbation videos. They can do girl-girl videos, or a lot of them do full-on porn, boy, girl. Everything you see when you click on Pornhub on the main page. Yes, I've done that many times. And that's what they're doing. They're selling you their private pornography and you have to pay for it. And no, I think it devalues people. It makes people see you as just you're good for nothing more than sex. I mean, do you have respect for porn stars? People say, how dare you to judge them? Well, you know what? Morality, we're in this weird time now where you're not supposed to ever even comment. You can't have morals, you can't have values, you can't have ethics. Anything goes and everyone's supposed to be cool with it. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. So if I find out a woman has OnlyFans and it's, full-on sex, yeah, I do think differently of her. I think lower of her. And I'm entitled to think that. They can think, oh my God, I'm great, I'm empowering. What's empowering? What's empowering about that exactly? I guess you're getting paid. Yeah, I mean, you know what? They say, well, you know what? There's a lot of things that get paid that I've known. Drug dealer, people that sell crack and heroin, they're making money. Does that mean they're honest? They're doing honest work, and we're supposed to be happy and cool with that? Yeah, there's a huge gap, a huge difference. I shouldn't compare drug dealers or hired killers to women selling pictures or videos of themselves, either nude or having sex. But you know what? I just don't. It's sad to me that women have to do that to make money, and they don't have to do it. How much money do you really need? I mean, they're doing it to get more and more money, but what are they spending it on? Fancier car, these handbags, for what? Just, so you can have more toys, have more cool handbags and shoes, a cooler car. Yeah, Steph Cohen, if you guys follow her, she's getting blasted because she said she posted a couple days ago that OnlyFans offered her $40,000 just to start an account because they know they can make a lot of money off of her. I don't know how much they take. I bet they take like half your money. But she didn't want to do it, and she's getting blasted by all these girls who do OnlyFans saying, you're judging us, and, how dare you? She can have her opinion. We don't have to approve of everyone's life decisions. We don't. You can think it's fine, and I can think it's not fine. That's opinion. I'm entitled to it. Your opinion, you're entitled to that. So no, not all about OnlyFans. I'm not cool with that. Let's see. So that's my OnlyFans rant for today. Eric, is it? Dudes paying a lot of money to see women on OnlyFans do what they want to them is pathetic. Yeah, I agree. They should get an actual girlfriend. Well, they can't. I don't know how many of you guys watch these red pill videos, and women get mad about this. But there's plenty of studies with these numbers back it up. I don't have the references, but you can Google it. 1/3 of all men now are virgins or haven't had sex in at least a year. Very small amount of men now are having sex with many, many different women. Women are only swiping right 5% of the time, if that, on Tinder. It's the same guys that they're all swiping on, the best looking dude, because they have the option. And if you're a guy and you could have sex with any women you want, you'd probably pick the better looking ones, wouldn't you? So I get it. They're just choosing the most attractive options, but they're leaving a lot of men. A lot of men have no girlfriends. They're never going to get married. They're never going to have kids. It's an entire generation that's going to be changed because of social media, dating apps, stuff like OnlyFans. And I do feel Steph Cohen said, I don't want to do OnlyFans. One of the reasons is I don't want to take advantage of vulnerable men because these men are lonely. They're sad. They have no access to real women now because women are going for the chads, the tall, good looking, athletic guys that are, masculine, and the ones that treat them like dirt and pump and dump them. And then they go on TikTok and cry, all men are scum. No, all men aren't scum, but you're all sleeping with the same tiny percent of scumbag men who are just taking advantage of a situation that's in front of them. So yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game, I guess. But yeah, what the hell was I talking about? Christian Flores, what do you think of doing 50 mg of tren or low dose? I heard almost the same as doing high doses without sides. I've never done that low a dose, but back in the day when it was parabolin, which was like a pharmaceutical human grade tren that was made in France many years ago. Dorian Yates said, I used to do two amps of parabolin a week, and those were 76 milligrams in an amp. So he was only doing 76 milligrams twice a week, and he was Mr. Olympia. Tren's very powerful. I do tend to think that a little bit goes a long way with tren. I don't think anybody needs more than like 300 or 400 milligrams of tren a week. I think that's plenty for anybody. Tren acetate, maybe like 100 milligrams every other day. I'm not saying to go out and do this. I'm saying I think most guys would get very good results from that. But yeah, you could try that. Like I said, I would say if you don't try low doses, how do you know that those wouldn't have given you just as the same results as a higher dose, but with less side effects and less risk to your health? That's why I always say, if you're going to use steroids, if you're going to start using steroids, start very low. See how that goes. But why start high? If you start high, you'll never know if this much would have worked. And now you're already here. You got to go. Where are you going to go from there? Up, up, up. And eventually now you're doing grams and grams, and now you got liver and kidney problems in your heart. So yeah, a little bit goes a long way with tren, definitely. Let's see. Dudes paying a lot of money. HR is pro men do it too. There, not women to pay for comp. Yeah, pay for comps. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. If you're selling nudes of yourself or videos of yourself having sex, you're prostituting yourself. That's fine. And if that's what you want to do, that's your decision. But I don't have to be cool. You don't have to be. Nobody has to approve of that. If I disapprove of that, that's my right. And you can think it's a great thing and it's freedom, it's empowering and this and that. You can think what you want. I can think what I want. It's all opinion. At least Steffi Cohen has morals and values. Yeah, morals and values. This is a bizarre world where you're looked down on. You're actually called judgmental if you have morals and values. It's like, it's crazy. I'm not super religious. I do believe in God and Jesus and all that, but we're at a time in American history where if you're religious, if you go to church, you're looked at as a weirdo, a freak, an outcast now. Whereas go back to 100 years ago to America, if you didn't go to church, you were a weirdo, you were a freak, you were an outcast. Now anyone who has religious beliefs is looked at as like, oh, they're ignorant, they're living this fantasy world and whatever. It's just crazy how things have changed. Mr. Good Guy, 2009. Big Lenny has shortness of breath and edema. He thinks keto and stopping PD will help. Thoughts? Big Lenny has never looked like a healthy guy to me. Honestly, I don't wish death on him, of course, or any harm, but it amazes me that he's still alive. Just the mass that he carries, the fat, the drugs, everything. I thought he would have been dead by now. He's got to be my age. I'm 53. He's got to be about my age or more. I think he needs to really get his health in order. That's just my, if I were him, I would really try to get my health in order, unless he doesn't care, and he doesn't care if he lives or dies. I don't know. Some people don't. Joseph, grateful to know that there are still people voicing up their opinion against this disgusting behavior, talking about OnlyFans. Yeah, see, you can think it's disgusting, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have that right. If I see all these TikTok videos, they come up on I don't have TikTok, but I have Instagram, and the Reels, I think a lot of those are just basically TikToks, right? A ton of them are just like women like dancing, winking with like some little phrase like "I love anal" or little phrases to make you think of how much they love sex, and they just want you to subscribe to their OnlyFans. They just want your money, and they're getting money from a lot of these lonely men out there who these women they call them pay pigs. They laugh at you, they laugh, they hate men. This wave of feminism that we're in right now. I can't get too political, I know, and I'm not qualified to speak on the matter. I wasn't a gender studies major, but it seems to be more about hating men than anything else. It's not about women's equality. Women, there's way more women in college now than there are men. We know this. They're making great money in the workforce. Voting rights, everything's fine. So women have equal power. Forget about the wage gap. That's a whole other discussion. But I'm just saying, feminism now seems to be more about just hating men, putting, everything about men is wrong. The patriarchy needs to be disassembled, destroyed, taken down. And it's wacky. This country has gone insane just in the last like 10, 20 years. Trust me. Any of you guys who are older, you remember what it was like in the 70s, 80s, even 90s. This is in a completely different country we're in now. It's almost like an alien world, a foreign country. Grateful to show people. Dane, too much McDonald's and lunch meat, anime and video games to replace sports and girls. Yeah. It's sad that a lot of the young kids, I see a lot of young guys my son's age, he's 23, they're addicted to pot, weed. They're high like all the time when they're not working, and maybe they're even when they're working too. And they're all addicted to video games and porn. Because, a lot of them, they don't even bother with women anymore because women are they only want this top percent of guys, regardless of where they are. They could be like the bottom 10% in looks, and they still want the top 10% best looking guys. Like I said, if guys could have any women they want, they would go for the best looking ones too. So I'm not trying to go there. But yeah, kids are eating way too. The kids and the young adults are eating just horribly now. Horrible. Did you get a lot of women? No. This held for review, but I'll answer it. When you were younger and looking your biggest, did you get a lot of women? I'm sure you did. No, I got married very, very young, A. Torres. I was 21 years old. I was doing pretty well in the couple years prior to that, but I wasn't big. I was 21 when I got married. I was still like 180 pounds. I was just starting to do well with women, and then I got married. But no regrets. I love my wife. She's the best. She's my soulmate, best friend. She's kept me sane. A lot of stuff. What else? When you were younger, Christian Flores, I kind of figured low dose is the way to go. Thanks, bro. Yeah. Again, I say it. If you're going to use steroids, guys, if you're going to start using steroids, start low and see how that goes. Obviously, like a TRT dose, 100 to 200 milligrams, probably a little bit too low, but you don't have to go much higher than that. Start as low as you can. Samson. Let's see. I hear many older bodybuilders say those former drugs that were great are no longer available. I'm surprised other pharma companies have not jumped into manufacturing for profit's sake. Well, they can't because steroids are illegal in the U.S. without a prescription. And, you can't get prescriptions for things like Tren and Equipoise. Those aren't even human drugs. So there's no money in it. If the pharma companies could make money off of it, believe me, they would. That's all they exist to do, is to make profit. they're corporations. They're billion dollar corporations. If they thought that they could make money from drugs to get people bigger, if there was a demand, they would supply it. They would give this a supply and charge you out a lot of money for it. So there must not be much. I'm sure they've researched it and they didn't see that it was worth their time and money. Because if it was, they would be on it. You know, weight loss drugs are always huge. They're always looking for new weight loss drugs and, you know, things for depression, a lot of common things. But getting big and jacked, there's not that many people that want to do that to justify the pharmaceutical companies, because it costs them billions of dollars to develop a drug. So if they're going to come out with new steroids or anything like that, they would still have to spend a ton of money and do all kinds of clinical trials. They have to. That's, you know, the FDA makes them do that, Food and Drug Administration. Christian Flores, the world has gone limp. Yeah. Todd Smith, low dose works, 55 years old, 100 milligrams of test each week. Yeah, you know, the smallest dose that you can get away with is the best dose, because then it's going to be the least risky in terms of side effects. So the smallest amount of steroids, drugs, whatever, that you can use to achieve the results is the best. You're spending less money. You're taking less risk with your health. You're not injecting as much oil into your freaking body. Yeah, I don't see the downside. Eric, is it? This world has been turned upside down. Yeah. Samson equals parabolin. Mike Cox. I'm not paying a girl to get naked on OnlyFans. Yeah, Mike. I mean, there's so much free porn. I guess guys do it because it's exclusive. Like, it's not, you have to pay for it. So it's not like free to the world. I don't know. But I see so many girls who have OnlyFans they're not that attractive. They're like, some of them are like 3s and 4s. I've seen some that, like, they just paint their faces like clowns, and they're doughy, fat bodies, and, you know, you would never look twice at them on the street, but they're on OnlyFans, and I assume they're making money, which it makes me disgusted with all the men out there. It's like, really, you work hard for your money, guys, and you're just going to give it to these women? No. Why do you? I feel like slapping them. Todd Smith, I was so dude. I got 99 problems. Money is one. Feminist now is discussing. Eric, is it? Eric, is it? Yeah, Mike, I'll use that money to buy my food and substance instead. Thank you. My cock, especially with eggs so expensive. Yeah, eggs have gotten crazy expensive, haven't they? Eric, is it? The inflation is off the walls. Yeah, our economy's not doing well, guys. It's not. We're getting paid less and everything costs more. So, HRs, you're in the top percent, though, you know that? Well, not really, no. I mean, like at my gym, the top percent guys, it's not even about money, because I'm sure some of these guys are dead. A couple of them I know are dead ass broke. They have no money, but they're tall, they're good looking, they're jacked, they have that bad boy look, all tatted up. And the same few guys at my gym, they run through I go to a huge gym with a couple thousand members. And there's a few guys there that have run through like a couple hundred girls, I'm sure of it, at that gym alone over the past couple of years. Because, you know, they have that masculinity about them, that bad boy aura, they're dangerous. Women love that shit. Deng Tui Ron, good on you for speaking up on the state of the world. I wholeheartedly agree, God is good. Todd Smith, you're a good human being, much love, brother. I try to be, man, I try to be. Neoson King, agree with you, Ron. Bullfrog, that's a cool name. I'm 53, been lifting most of my life, been on TRT for 12 years, and now taking 300 milligrams test per week. Biggest problem I have is tendon injuries. Do you think adding GH would help repair, protect? It couldn't hurt. I mean, it enhances collagen production. I mean, that's a big reason I use it, because I've had so many like minor muscle tears, especially over the past 10 years as I've gotten older. I've been lucky, but I've also been a lot more careful. I stay away from things I know are just dangerous. You know, people will tell you got to squat, you got to deadlift, you got to do this. You don't have to do a damn thing. Just because someone says, no, if you don't squat, you're not a real bodybuilder. Shut up. You know what? If something is dangerous to you and you're risking injury, don't do it. Even if everyone else is doing it and says you have to do it. You don't have to do anything. Take care of yourself. Worry about you. Exercises that work for you. If using a lot of machines is safer for you and you're still getting pretty good results, use most of the machines. Don't worry about it. Just because someone says, oh, you're can I say pussy? You a pussy because you ain't doing it. Whatever, dude. Shut up. The older you get, the less you will care about what people think about you. And you'll look back on your younger years and go, oh my God, I wasted so much mental energy worrying so much about how much people thought about me. For what? Then you realize people don't care about you anyway. They only care about themselves. So once you really understand that, it doesn't bother you as much. You realize everyone's out for themselves. They don't really care. And if they judge you, so what? Who cares? Who the hell who are they? If they ain't paying your bills, don't pay them no mind. I stole that one. Todd Smith, I've ran much higher but can maintain on it, yeah. Mac Truck had an OnlyFans for all and showed everything, huh? I guess he needed the money, but you know what? You can do anything if it's I'm not judging, but I wouldn't do it. Who's want to see this old ass anyway? But I'm just saying, if my daughter did it and she wouldn't, I would not be happy. I assume all these women, maybe a lot of them don't have dads. I guess a lot of them didn't have dads. But I mean, what parent would be proud of their kid doing that, having sex on camera, here's my daughter, she's got one up here, she's got another one in her butt, and I'd be ashamed. I would personally be ashamed. And that's, as a parent, that's my right. I can be ashamed. Someone could say, how dare you? Your kids should be free to express themselves and empower. There's nothing empowering about it. They're prostitutes. Relax. Mike Cox, I did see a clip of a certain wellness girl on OnlyFans, giggity. She wouldn't happen to be a doctor, would she, Mike? Yeah, maybe not. That was bad. That was a terrible joke. But I know she has an OnlyFans, Sonny. Todd Smith, low dose of HGH can help tendons and ligaments, some in the medical field. Yeah, thank you, Todd. Yeah, I've often heard that. I'm like low dose, like I've heard even 1 IU is beneficial. But I think 2 IUs, that's the standard therapeutic dose, I believe, is 2 IUs, which is a tiny amount on an insulin syringe. Shouldn't be spending a ton of money if you're getting a good deal on it. You'd be surprised. Hey, Torres, you'd be surprised he had a big following. It has to be around your age. No, I'm not really surprised. I mean, honestly, I get tons and tons of messages and stuff from gay men, even though I'm in my 50s. I'm thinking, why do they? It's weird because I get a lot more attention, especially as I've gotten older, from gay men, and they like muscles a lot more than straight women do. Straight women, there are a lot of straight women that like muscular men. Sure there are, but there's a much higher percentage of gay men that like a muscular man. Go figure. So I'm very sure I could do an OnlyFans and I could make some money, but I'm not gonna do that. To me, I would feel like I'm demeaning myself. That's just me. I wouldn't do it. Why is that, you think? A Torres, Lee Priest said the same thing. Guys are horny, whether they're gay or straight, guys are horny, and they're very open and blunt. They're in your DMs. I don't think too many women are in guys' DMs all the time, saying, I'd love to do this to you, but guys are always DMing girls, sending dick pics and stuff. Put it this way, I would guarantee you 3 times as many, maybe 100 times as many guys send women pictures of their penis than women sending men pictures of their vagina or their boobs or something. Men are just visual and they're horny and they're very blunt and forward with what they want. Joseph, any thought on the interview of Rami, stem cell therapy doctor, with Dennis saying that Rami is already looking much better than the Olympia? I hope he does. I mean, I think Rami's a great guy. I wish him the best. I find it hard to believe that the stem cells are working that quickly. He's only been doing it for a few weeks. I thought these things took months and months. Like Ronnie Coleman, he only goes like every 3 months to have it done. He goes to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I find it hard to believe that the stem cells are having an impact that quickly, but I'm not a stem cell expert. Maybe they are. We're going to find out in 3 weeks from tomorrow at the Arnold Classic when we see Rami on the stage, if his lower lats are back in, at least somewhat, if that tricep is filled out again, if that calf is filled out again, I'll be a stem cell believer. Shit. Todd Smith, Ron, you're doing good stuff. I appreciate always watching, listening to you. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. A Torres, Lee said he never, ever got approached by gay guys back in the 90s in his best days. And I was so shocked by that in Venice Beach. Huh. Well, you know what? It's approaching people in real life is a little more daunting and intimidating, but anybody can approach. A lot of stuff I get online, they're anonymous. It's, it'll be like Muscle Lover 20, or it's some fake screen name with, the account is a private account with 0 posts. You don't know what they look like or anything. People are a lot more ballsy when they're anonymous, as we know, keyboard warriors. So it's a lot easier for most people to send someone a DM, especially when they know you have no idea who they are. Uh, they could just, if you come back mad at them, they can just block you. It's so much easier to talk to anybody now, whether you want to hit on them or you want to insult them or threaten them. It's right there on your phone. You can do it. Ramy places 5th or 6th. He is done. Yeah, Mike. If Ramy places that low at this, Arnold, after getting 5th at the Olympia, it's going to bring his stock down tremendously, because 2-time Mr. Olympia, I kind of wish he had skipped this. You know, Milos was just on Global Muscle with Giles yesterday, and he's glad that Ramy's doing it. You know, he hopes Ramy can rally and make a better showing and fix his physique issues, but he wasn't confident that was possible. I don't know if it is. I hope. Thoughts on Hassan Mustafa? I think Hassan's excellent. He's structurally not the greatest, but he's got so much muscle mass, great physique, great side shots. Certain poses of his are really deadly. I think he just burned himself out with a lot of shows. He did so many shows. I think he just needed a break. I think we'll see him come back better. Early thought. Any thought of Andrew? You wrote Andrew, but I assume you mean Andrew Jacked. Latest update. Yeah, Andrew Jacked. He looks good. He looks as good now as he did at the Olympia. So if he can tighten up even more, with him it was just condition. The guy's got a beautiful gift, one of the most gifted structures, full round muscle bellies, tiny joints, tiny waist, super wide shoulders and back, flaring quads. Andrew Jacked. Yeah, I still think his best is yet to come. I don't think we're seeing his full potential yet. I still think that's a year or two away. You got to realize this guy just started competing last year. A year ago at this time, Andrew Jacked was an amateur. He was preparing for the Arnold Amateur. That's what Andrew Jacked was doing 1 year ago. So, you know, people have high expectations, but give the guy some time. Let's see. Sean Turner, I am on TRT, Florida Alternative. 200 meg puts me at 1,500. I'm 48. Yeah. Someone would say, you know, someone else, 200 milligram might put them at 800. Someone else might go to 2,500. We're all different, but I think 1,500 is great. That's, you know, if that's where my total T ends up being, if we settle at a dose, gets me there, I'm cool with that. HRs, do I know Robin Strand? Yeah, I know Robin a little bit. I was sitting next to him at the Olympia, one of the judging. Young guy from Canada. He's put on a lot of size. I don't think he's a physical therapist. He's something very, very similar to that. Cool kid though. Feel free to skip this. What is your opinion of the current president? Not a fan. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say. I can't remember the last president I was a fan of, to be honest with you. No one. It's very rare that people are happy with the president. Very rare, because people look to our president to solve all the problems, which is impossible. He's not a king. He's not a dictator. He's got to go through Congress and Senate, and there's a lot of moving parts. Everybody's got their own self-interest. There's Republicans, Democrats, and a president can only do so much. But yeah, I can't remember the last time. Maybe John F. Kennedy was like the last president that everybody loved, and I don't think even everybody loved him at the time. But he was a very popular president. And that was, 60 years ago, for God's sake? Brian Lee. Well, we're going into Arnold things? Nah. Nick, Sean, Samson, Andrew. 5, Ramy, if they go Muscular, Samson. Wow, you putting... Oh, wait, what? Oh, you're doing 2 different top 5s. Then you got Samson, Andrew, Nick. Where'd that go? What happened? I lost your Arnold predictions. Oh, no. Oh, it got retracted. That's why. Todd Smith, Ramy looks good by himself. Next to others, we'll see. Stem cell therapy works, just not instantly, unless the process has changed in the last few months. Yeah, I'd be very shocked if it was having the effects that he wants it to have that quickly. I would have thought he would try it for a few months at least to see the progress before he jumped back on stage. HR's Robin is huge on YouTube. Have you seen bigger in person? He's a big kid. He's like 300 pounds. He's not short either. He's got to be about 6 foot. Yeah, he's a big kid. He's definitely put a lot of size on. I remember when he turned pro at the Toronto Amateur. There was a pro qualifier that was held right before the Toronto Pro a few years ago. He won that, and then he competed in the pro show the next day, and he was like 7th place or something. Yeah. Joseph, do you think Krizo should compete in the Arnold? Where do you think he'll place the next Olympia? I mean, he probably wants to make some improvements and come back, qualify, and do the Olympia again. Everyone can't do every show. I mean, it's brutal. He was in prep for the amateur show that he turned pro at, Krizo, and then the Olympia was like 6 weeks after that. So he was already in prep for almost geez, like 6 months. So to push it another 4 months, I'm sorry, 10 weeks is 2.5 months, probably too much. These guys need a break. Hope Brian Balzano is going to be good, says Mike. Yeah. Yeah, he was in the interview, guys. If you haven't watched MD Global Muscle on this channel, episode yesterday that was posted, Giles Thomas's show, he had Milo Sarshev and he had Brian Balzano, the 212 competitor out of Ohio. Joseph Orablo, good post, Joseph, about the realities of fat loss, of single-digit body fat that you made on Facebook. So Joseph says, do you think these guys who are jumping in the Masters Olympia are going to run much less gear than when they were in their prime? I don't see a necessity for them to do insane, crazy doses. I don't know. They're going to have to use a certain amount to hold the amount of muscle mass to be competitive. I don't know what they're going to do with their doses. I haven't talked to any of them about that. It's a good question, though. Eric, is that 80 pounds gain in 3 years? That's insane. Was that Robin? Did he do that? Yeah. Todd Smith, thanks for made my day. Heading out to Cancer Center, Infusion Center appointment for the next 3 hours. God bless. Thank you, man. Todd, stay strong, brother. Oh, wow. Oh, geez, Todd. Yeah, God bless you, man. I hope you beat that, man. That's awful. So, I thought you were like going there to. I thought you were going there to work there as a medical professional. You're going there for treatment, Todd. Wow. Yeah, I hope you're okay, man. I hope everything works out for you. Jeez. Cancer sucks, man. I lost my dad to cancer, aunts, uncles. One of my older brothers has cancer right now. Multiple myeloma. He's had it for like 3 years. He's already outlived what the doctors told him to expect. Let's hope he hangs on for another few years. He's my oldest brother. I have 4 brothers, 1 younger, 3 older. I had 2 older sisters. One passed away, one's still alive. But yeah, the oldest, my sister, the oldest she just turned 66. Yeah. My mother had children all the way from 1956 to 1972. 7 kids in that span of years. Todd Smith, thanks. Been terminally ill for 11 years. Wow, lost half my organs. A stroke took my left eyesight and right ears. That's awful, Todd. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, but on the upside, if there's an upside, terminally ill, usually you'd think you're almost gone. But 11 years that you've kicked this cancer's ass. God bless you, man. Praying for my cancer. Wow. Brian Lee, I think the Arnold can go 2 different ways. Oh, this is back to the. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Arnold right now. I'm going to be talking so much about the Arnold in the next couple weeks. I'm going to have like nightmares about it. Yeah, but definitely looking forward to it. The Arnold's always a good show. I'm glad the lineup is much better this year. After they raised the prize money and a couple more guys jumped in, we had Rami and Andrew Jack and Nick Walker jump in. It's going to be a really good show. So that'll wrap it up for now, guys. I appreciate you being patient. I had to break this video up into 2 because my wife, it was a fairly urgent call about her mother who's being admitted to the hospital with double pneumonia. So I had to take that call. Damn, Todd, sorry. Yeah, Todd, everybody out here, send some prayers Todd's way. They couldn't hurt. Yeah. So, God bless you, Todd. Best of luck with all that. And anyway, guys, that's it. I appreciate you watching, of course. And we'll see you next time. I don't know when I'll do another live, but stay tuned to this channel. So much great content. MD Global Muscle, MD Muscle Talk, Brazilian Beat, Ron Line Report, Ask Dr. T, Fac Attack, No Way Jose. We've got a lot of good programming on this channel. So hope you guys check it out. If you haven't seen any of those shows, go back and give them a look. We appreciate it so much. Have a great night, guys. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Bye-bye.